Hey, nieces and nephews, families and friends. I am inviting you to joy. I hope this will be 5 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast and we'll see how it goes. First of all, I want to give you the definition of joy, what it means to our nervous system. To our nervous system, joy means someone is glad to be with me, especially in the difficult feelings. Or joy can be defined as a relational moment. And an example of joy might be when I was working with preschoolers in the 3-year-old room, I was reading a story and one little girl felt really sad. And I was like, so I attuned with her sad. And then I said, hey, you know what? On each side of you, why doesn't the child on this side of you hold your hand and the child on this side of you hold your hand so that we can be with you, and we are glad to be with you right now and you're sad, and to bring comfort. So that's an example of a relational moment, and we're glad to be with her in what might have felt like a difficult feeling, but it was a feeling. And just to tell you which part of our brain this is going on, right behind our eyes, in the front part of our brain, is the prefrontal cortex, the orbital prefrontal cortex. I won't unpack the word. You can go look it up in the dictionary, but it's behind our eyes. And that part, and kind of near the forehead area, that part of the brain grows across the lifespan. So at 9 months of age is a critical time for babies, where if a caregiver's, plural, or one, could spend 8 hours a day doing joy smiles with the baby, that just helps that part of the brain just grow and use all the neurons there. Because if not, then like language, what we don't use, we lose. The neurons myelinate, or no, not myelinate, they die off. So all is not lost. We have throughout our lifespan to grow that, but it may not grow as big and as strong. And the reason why this is critical and important and I'm passionate about is because if I have a basket here, it will hold as much heaviness as, it is strong. So if our joy capacity, if this has a bunch of holes in it and I try to hold water in it, it's not going to hold much water. And if the hard things in life come through and we have holes in our capacity, we're not going to be able to hold many difficult things with capacity and with resilience. Joy capacity is about having strength and resilience to thrive in the middle of really hard things, and maybe even not hard things when we're tired. It gives us the resilience. That's why I'm passionate about growing joy capacity. Another expression of joy is someone's eyes who light up to see you. For instance, when I would come from Oregon to see my nieces and nephews in Omaha, it's like, I am so glad to see you, my nieces and nephews. And they're like, Aunt Marian. And we'd run and hug. Our eyes are lighting up to see each other. There's some other things I wanted to say, but my paper fell to the floor. So I'm going to gaze avert, which is another issue. If I just build joy capacity with you and I say tickle, if I'm tickling you, or someone's tickling you and you're like, it's fun. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I've met my limit. So you say stop. So that's a gaze avert. But if the person doesn't stop, then it overwhelms you. And it's like, it's not fun anymore. And it's the same with joy. We build joy, we rest. We build joy, we rest. So I'm going to gaze over. Before I forget. So say when you're in a grocery store, if you don't have a child in your home, say you're with your nieces and nephews or grandchildren or whatever, Or you're in a grocery store and you see a child, a baby, a child. And I know we wear masks, but you can lower it, smile, put it back up, but just watch their eyes. And they may watch you and then look away. When they look away, you look away. So that gives them a rest. And then you can watch them out of the corner of your eye to see if they look back at you, and you can look back. Try it with kids that are you're friends with, where you don't have to be wearing your mask. And try that gaze avert. And I'm going to gaze avert. And I'm back. So an exercise you can do with someone to work on joy smiles. One simple one that I was going to suggest to my family, nieces and nephews, with a spouse, a parent, a friend, be facing each other, and then our brains pick it up right eye to right eye. So if I have my friend Gibraltar here, I'm going to look at Gibraltar's right eye, and Gibraltar looks at my right eye. And the reason is because it's our right hemisphere. It's a right hemisphere thing. And we can't fake it, because it translates to our right, between our right eyes at 6 times per second. Amazing speed. So if I'm like, oh, I really don't, oh yeah, hi, I've already translated, I'm really not glad to see you right now. But in about 2 minutes, I will be glad. Let me go to the bathroom first, or let me go get a drink, and then I'll be glad to see you. So you could be facing your friend or your partner or whoever, and just no verbals, just look in their right eye and think of what you appreciate about them, or think of something that brings you joy, that brings a smile to you, and look in their right eye and gaze avert. And then when you look back together, practice your joy smiles together, or looking in your right eye, and then gaze avert. Try it for a minute. See how uncomfortable you get to feel. And then grow that capacity. That's one example. Another day, we can pick up some other examples. And a joy story, I'll just tell you something that brought a smile to my face today. Thinking of doing this, recording it, so you can see me. Makes me kind of laugh. And okay, so I know. One of my neighbors had a dog go by. And whenever I see the dogs go by, I just smile, especially this one, where when I come see it, it puts its paws upon me, like gives me a hug. And that just brings a huge smile to me. That's all for today. Tune in next time.